everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne and I'll be taking a look at this Nanoxia Deep Silence 6 full tower PC case, and this is a massive case and I haven't done a video on a huge tower like this in a long time, so this is very exciting. Here's what comes in the box. You get a 4+4 pin CPU power extension cable, and since this is a tall case, you might need the cable slack. There's also a 24-pin main power extension cable, because you never know. This is a 5¼ inch to 3.5 inch cover adapter for the 3.5 inch drive adapter behind the front panel. These four lovelies are rubber seals for closing the tube holes above the rear fan. All you have to do is take out the standard rubber grommets and push these rubber stoppers in. Included are these cable ties and a full bag of mounting hardware. I really like that all the individual packets are labeled so you don't have to guess which screws go where. This case measures 250mm or 9.8 inches by 627mm or 24.6 inches by 655mm or 25.7 inches. And it weighs 20.8 kilograms or 45.8 pounds. I find the best way to lift this is without its panels first. I love the smooth and sleek design of this beauty, and it has a strong and subtle air about it with a brushed finish look up at the front. Here's a look at the front of the case. There are two magnetic doors with foam padding behind each. Door number 1 gives you access to the 2-channel fan control for up to 8 fans via these sliders. The upper slider controls channel A and the lower slider controls channel B. The max power per channel must not exceed 18 watts. And here's the reset button, well hidden and safe from accidental presses. Below that are 4 5¼ inch drive bays. I like that the covers are made of metal. Just pull on this tab to remove the cover. Opening door number 2 will reveal the two 140mm pre-installed fans. There are ventilation holes on either side of the front panel so that the front fans can breathe. To remove the front panel, grip the groove at the bottom of the panel and pull outwards. Do be careful so you don't pull on the cables too hard. Here are the 4 5¼ inch drive bays, and there's even a 3.5 inch drive adapter included inside. Let's go over the fan mounts beneath the bays. Push down in this section to open up the fan mount. As you can see, the fan sports green blades, and the dust filter also conveniently slides off for when it needs cleaning. The left side of the case has a cover over fan mounting points. Be sure to remove the cover if you want more airflow. The inside of the panel has a layer of dense, noise-isolating material. It's made of a mix of bitumen fabric and foam compound. Here's a closer look at the fan mounts. You can install up to two 140mm or two 120mm fans. Remove these 8 screws in order to release the fan cover. Now for a look at the rear. These 4 rubber grommets are for threading cables or water cooling tubes. Feel free to plug them up if you're not using them. Beneath that is the cutout for the motherboard I/O. To the right is the pre-installed 140mm fan. All the included fans in this case come with green fan blades. You get 10 expansion slots. There's more of everything with full towers. There's plenty of honeycomb ventilation next to that. And here's the bottom power supply mount, with a very long dust filter. It's always a pleasure to see dust filters where there are openings. On the right side is a clean side panel. Of course, you get plenty of dense sound dampening padding on the other side, just like the left side panel. Here's a look at the top of the case. These are the top panel ports. You get 4 USB 3.0 ports, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and headphone and mic jacks. You can hide the ports too by pressing downwards. The power button is located on the top of the front panel. I love the Active Air Chimney feature. Leave it shut for optimal silence. The pre-installed fans will automatically shut off. When shut, the chimneys will keep out liquid after a spill. Phew! And slide the switch to open up the covers for more airflow. So simple. Pull upward on the panel to remove it. Be careful as there are cables connected to this panel too. You can install up to a 360mm long radiator, and there are special lateral fastening points under the top cover. There's more of that thick padding for noise reduction beneath the chimneys. Included are two 140mm fans. There's the option to install up to 3 120mm or 3 140mm fans. I'm happy to see so many fans come with this case. These deep silence axial flow fans have been optimized for quiet operation. On the bottom are shiny feet with rubber soles. And it looks like the long hard drive cage inside is riveted in, but the smaller cage to the left of that is removable via 4 screws. There are mounting points down here for two 120mm or one 140mm fans, but of course you'll need to have the small drive cage removed first. Let's remove the right side panel, and I love how these panels are hinge designed. Wow, that's a heavy panel. There's some thick steel in the works here. I see 2 cutouts for heatsink coolers, for those of you going with dual CPU motherboards. This case is compatible with Mini-ITX, Micro-ATX, ATX, XL-ATX, E-ATX, and HPTX motherboards. And it's always nice to see rubber grommets, and 15 of them this time. Fantabulous! You get some cable tie-down points littered about as well. Here's a fan hub for connecting up to 3 fans. Looks like the top 2 fans are already plugged in and ready for the Active Air Chimney feature. And there are plenty of fan headers connected to this hub. I'll show you more when we take a look inside the case. There's a decent amount of space behind the motherboard tray for routing cables. You get 0.7 inch of room. Now, let's take a look at the interior. Here's a closer look at the rear fan. I like that the power supply mount has foam padding for the rear. You also get some thick, tall rubber feet to situate the power supply on as a point of isolation. Here's the removable hard drive cage. Love that the cage and the caddies are all metal. You can set up this cage in 2 locations or remove it altogether. You get 3 3.5-inch, 2.5-inch drive caddies in this small cage. Each drive sled has rubber padding to help reduce vibrations. So much thought went into keeping this case and everything that will go into it as quiet as possible. To the upper right are the 5.25-inch drive bays. They have a toolless design. And beneath those are the 10 3.5-inch, 2.5-inch drive mounts. Just think of all the drives you can set up in this baby. You can use the mounting bracket behind the hard drive cage to install up to a 280mm long radiator, or up to 2 140mm or 120mm fans. You'll need to remove the small drive cage in order to fully unscrew the mounting bracket. A total of 4 thumb screws secure the bracket to the long drive cage. Now let's take a look at the cables. You get 2 20-pin USB 3.0 headers, a USB 2.0 connector, and audio connector. Here are the 2 3-pin connectors for the front fans, as well as the power reset hard drive LED plugs. And these are the Fan A and Fan B headers for plugging in additional fans. One of the Fan B headers is currently plugged into the fan hub on the right side of the case. Last but not least is the Molex plug for powering the fan hub. Can't leave out the case clearance. You get a clearance of 200mm or 7.8 inches for the CPU cooler height. The max graphics card length is 405mm or 15.9 inches, or up to 435mm or 17.1 inches without the mounting bracket in place. That wraps it up for this look at the Nanoxia Deep Silence 6 Full Tower PC case. I'm Joanne, and if you like what you saw and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media. Joanne Tech Lover Facebook, Joanne Tech Lover again on Twitter, and Joanne Tech Lover once more on Instagram. Also, be sure to check out my other YouTube channels, JTL Lifestyle and JTL Cuteness Overload. I guess all that's left to say is bye!